I'm Shelly Sanchez Terrell, your hostess, and we've been doing this for the last, I think, 4 years now. We have over 200 recordings. They're all free at the American TESOL YouTube channel, which is youtube.com, ATESOL/ATESOL. So you can do a search for ATESOL. We also have all the slides that you can download, and American TESOL also now has an ESLtech.com course. So you can go to ESLtech.com and you'll get a certification for teaching with technology that is recognized by many different master's programs and colleges throughout. So thank you so much for coming. You can find a lot of resources at shellyterrell.com, ELTPLNs. One of the most important reasons, the why to get connected online to teachers, well, as you can tell in the chat, we have a lot of incredible teachers. They're very passionate and they love what they do and they share a lot. But also, if English isn't your first language, and English, my first language, even though I was born in the U.S., I'm Latina, and I grew up in a body of speaking Chicano English. So for a very long time, I didn't speak proper English, and even now, I don't pronounce certain words correctly, but I've had a lot of practice. And the more that you practice, when you get to speaking on Twitter chats or you're on Facebook and you're involved in webinars and you're even doing the chat box, you're improving your language a lot. So if it's not your first language, then it's great as a teacher to keep getting that practice. Plus, one of the great things is that you get to interact with others and you pick up everyday language that you wouldn't learn in a classroom. There's a lot of language that your students and you the vernacular now, especially since language has changed so much, that you can pick up by speaking to others online. So it's a great reason to connect. The other reason is because the World Wide Web is changing. There's so many new apps and tools and mobile device, different devices, and you hear about Google Cardboard. In fact, it was really funny because somebody had talked about a cardboard and how I think it was Adam Bello, and my Facebook response to that was, "Yay, kids love playing with cardboard boxes." And I didn't realize that Google had this new technology called Google Cardbox. So every day I'm learning as well. And if you think I know a lot, it's because I hang online a lot. And that's true, Peggy. Kids love the boxes more than toys. So if you feel like you're way behind in technology, I used to feel like that. And then I got connected online, and you just learn so fast from conversations and attending different webinars and events like this. And one of the other reasons why you want to get connected is because then you can introduce your students to a lot of different communities where there are millions of users that will help them improve their English. And that's a really powerful way to learn English because, or any language, like Busuu. Busuu has over 50 million users and they boast to be the largest language learning platform to me. That's what they boost. That's what they boast about. And I think I tend to believe them, but they use this. They have a social network, so you can kind of see here, and this is all free account where you can speak to other language learners that are online. You can chat immediately. You can do the Skype. Or you can even, it's gamification. So every time that they use that motivation, you get levels, you get badges, you get points. And then you can get some cool Busuu products because there's, with many of these apps, there's a freemium and then there's the premium. So a lot of different communities are out there that when your students leave your classroom, if they join one, then you don't have to be the one always supporting them. Because I remember when I was I was with my teenagers and I was teaching them in 2004. I would be on instant messenger with them after school as well. So I love being with them and I love spending a lot of time with them, but there are certain times in the year, grading so many exams or essays, tons of essays, that this, if I would have known about this, then I would be able to introduce them to all these sites. The other one is Box of Pop. Box of Pop is awesome because they don't just chat, they talk. So it is a language learning network based completely on voice. You leave tons of voice. And they have talk groups that focus on what's going to be on the oral exam for like TESOL, for so many IBITs, many of the language learning tests out there, they have, if they do a search, they're going to find a speaking group of students and they'll be able to answer tests and they'll have tutors that will actually go and help them. So it's really great. Now you might say, wow, this is all really cool, but I don't know where to begin, which is why we're going to help you. So let's think about the social networks you already belong to, because there are over a million now. This was actually a statistic from, I don't know, 2009. Um, but LinkedIn is one of the social networks that actually takes into account different professions. And LinkedIn doesn't have as many users as YouTube, as Twitter. So there are about over a million teachers who are online and they are connecting with each other. But aside from that, there's billions of authors, researchers, organizations. You can Skype billions. If you're connected online, it's easy to find someone to mystery Skype with. To find an expert, let's say you're doing business English and you're talking about one of this, this new building that comes up, you could Skype in an architect. If you want to talk about somebody who wrote a book, you can Skype in the author. With my young learners, when I was teaching them in Germany, we would Skype in others. You could Skype in the storybook authors. Julia Donaldson, I never got to Skype her in, but you can Skype authors like that. And Julia Donaldson, she's the one who plays the guitar and she sings the Gruffalo and the kids sing along. So it's very interactive. They get to show lots of they have exposure to lots of accents, and which is really good for them. It helps them with their listening. So how do you connect with teachers online? Well, the easiest thing to do is go to the places that you already connect and then do a search for, and usually hashtags. Hashtags are the best way to connect. So when you think about it, and this comes in stages, but get a few that you connect with. There's a lot of people who are really busy, so you got to keep, and then when you keep coming and attending events, you'll find connections like Annabella and Ilse found each other. But there's lots, and that's how you keep growing. You come to events, you go online, you go to Twitter hashtags, you then feel comfortable enough to present or to do what I do, because you can do that. You do it every day in your classroom. You teach. And that's what we do with I call them passionate learning networks, but they're called personal professional learning networks. And the great thing is they entice you to do things you normally wouldn't do, step out of your comfort zone. And I've been very, very fortunate and blessed. Before I was teaching online, I didn't travel and meet teachers necessarily. I had a really great community of teachers, so I'll just kind of stick there. But then when I started connecting online, any conference that was near me, I went to. I told him, I'll present. You don't. And so that's what I did. I presented a lot. I remember going 7 hours. I drove from where I was in Germany to Paris to meet all these people. And the reason I have this picture is because one of the conferences, which was TESOL France, and I definitely recommend it, they had a conference on my birthday. So all these people celebrated my birthday with me in Paris. But it just happened because they all went to a conference and we all met online. So I think there's so many incredible things you'll never even realize by connecting with teachers online. This is based on pedagogy. It is connectivism, the theory of connectivism, which is by George Siemens and Stephen Downes. They are kind of the forefathers of it, and they have so many free resources. They have online courses you can take with them to learn more, and it's really a fantastic way to be able to understand the process, and you can connect with others as well. So how do you manage all this? Well, start with baby steps. Go to the places that you're already part of a social network, and just for a week start following teachers and see how much you grow, because you do connect with people online all the time, and sometimes you connect with people that will bring value to you, and then sometimes you have connections that are not very valuable. So switch some of those and get some teachers instead. And you're going to see it's a very enriching, uplifting, and very intelligent world, connected online world. So you get to make decisions. A lot of people are going to give you advice. There's going to be lots of blog posts that are going to say, this is what you do for Twitter, this is what you do for Facebook. Read them, get what you can from them, but it's you ultimately can decide what's the right recipe or mix for you. And what works for somebody else is not going to necessarily work for you. Um, for example, Peggy and I are always online with these webinars and attending events, but a lot of people might not be able to do that. So if that's the way it is, then you can choose where. Some of you will say, Facebook is my home and I want to connect with teachers on Facebook. Some of you will want to connect with teachers on Instagram, and some of you are going to choose another social network altogether. You get to decide how much time you can invest. I say at least try 3 times a day, 10 minutes. I think that's doable. The best tool, well, that depends on which social network that you go on. And then you decide who you want to connect to. And sometimes they just come to you. But the most powerful way to connect is with the hashtag these days. And the reason why is because so many people are busy. So many people are always getting to, um, sometimes they lose it in their stream. So the most active teachers are on Twitter chats. Twitter chats you can find if you go to bit.ly/educhats. You can get into a chat that matches your time because we have them from anywhere around the world. There's over 400 Twitter chats. One of the ones that I invented, co-founded actually, is EdChat. And after that, there's lots of chats. I also helped found ELT Chat. And ELT Chat and ELL Chat are some of the best chats for English language teachers. You'll definitely find tons of people to connect with. ELT Pics, that's a hashtag where you just put pictures that you want anyone to be able to use, and they give you credit, and they put it all on Flickr, and so it's a fun group because it's all in pictures. IATEFL, YLTSIG if you're for young learners, BELTA if you're doing business English, BSIG. No, BELTA is Belgium, sorry. That's the Belgian Teacher Association. They're really great as well. TESOL, TEFL, ESOL. If you put CLIL, anything you put a pound sign in front of and no spaces is where you're going to be able to find where all this information is aggregated. You don't have to be part of a social network to benefit from a hashtag. You can Google any of these hashtags and you're going to find some awesome people and awesome resources. Go to eltchat.org, and there you will find all the archives for the last 4 years that we've had ELT chat. And Marissa Constantinidis, I believe, still runs ELT chat. You can propose topics, and they always have they have a bunch of podcasts. I mean, there's so many incredible resources at ELT chat, and you can even volunteer to write the archive. She would love that. Facebook.com teaching English. They have over 3 million users now. So if you want to find teachers online on Facebook, then go to Teaching English. And from there, you're going to find many, many different Facebook groups. One of the Facebook groups, there's a couple. There's one that says there's webinars for English language teachers. That's a good Facebook group. I'm always posting on there as well. The other one is blogs for English language teachers. So if you start to begin to blog or you start doing webinars, these are really great sites to post that, because then you're going to have to, then you'll be able to let the people know who are very interested in that. So I'm going to give you those Facebook groups. You have to ask to be belong to them. So let me get that for you. And also the blogs for English language teacher. There's also ITDI, and they're a really great group to follow. They have a summer MOOC that they're doing. It's an open online course. I think it's only August 1st through 10th. Oh, and the other one that's upcoming, so you can, let's say that you say, I'm a bit daring, like me. One of the reasons why I have a lot of followers and things is because I create so many projects. And it's not that I feel like I know it all. It's like I just like to try things and test them and see what happens. And I always feel if you benefit one person, just one person, then it was really worth doing, because there's so many, because that one person is a teacher. And if you help one teacher, if you inspire one teacher, then you've done amazing things for their students as well. So you don't have to feel like you, a lot of my projects I started the first year. So it doesn't matter if you don't. But I'm saying that because Evil is looking for people to run their courses. Now, every year I do one on, well, I've been doing it for the last 3 years. I used to do it on digital storytelling. And now we have ebook Evil, which is in 6 weeks. And this is free. You create the first chapter of your own textbook, and you can use it with your students. You can even create student ones. And we have, last year we had 19 mentors. We do it through Google Hangouts. We have a Google community. But you can suggest your own or find tons. They have them on Clill. They have them on using YouTube. They have them on digital storytelling, working with young learners, business. I mean, they have so many different free courses that you can attend. And then, of course, there's American TESOL. So you can find all of the videos at TESOL, American TESOL. And they have a thriving community as well. We also have a community on Moodle if you do take the esltech.com course. You can connect with your mobile device. How do you do that? Well, you might wonder how I manage everything. I share a lot because I have different apps. I use Buffer. Sometimes I haven't been using it lately at every post. They're for Android and iOS, and Buffer's on the web as well. I love Buffer. It's really good. The other one I've been using, and it's not on here because it's only for Twitter. So I didn't put it on there, but it's Nuzzle. So if you are a Twitter user, Nuzzle is so fantastic, because what it does is it takes everyone you're following and it puts their post up that they've shared that have had a lot of interest, and it automatically makes a tweet for you, and it thanks that person for sharing it, which no other social network I've seen does, where they actually put the person who shared it and thank them for you. So that gets me a lot of connections too, because then I learn other people who are sharing. And that's really good when you start following so many people like I do, then it's really good to be able to see other people who share and connect with them. So I think Nuzzle's been really good for that. And actually, that's all I'm pretty much using now. I used to use Buffer and every post. And Buffer is when you can schedule your tweets. It allows you to also retweet. It allows you to find different things and then tweet them later or tweet them in bundles. So there's so much that you can do with it. And you can tweet it. Not only do you tweet it, but you can even post on Facebook. You can post it on your Facebook groups. So you can go to more than one place. That's why it's called a buffer, because you just do one status update and it takes it to all of them. No, Peggy, I think it automatically does whoever you're connected with on Twitter. At least that's what mine did, because I didn't connect with anyone on those. The app does. Maybe it's the app, because that's all I use is the app. Every post is the same. I used to use every post when I wanted to post to my Facebook page. So one of them does pages and one of them does groups. I have no idea, but that's the way it is with free stuff. Sometimes you got to mix and match. Every once in a while, when Google doesn't have something funny with I its API, then you can even post on Google Plus from those. And then one of the easiest ways to manage chats, to manage a large group, to follow a hashtag, even schedule tweets, is to try TweetDeck. TweetDeck is on your browser. It's an app, but it's a browser app. It's not like a mobile device app. It's on your laptop and your browser. And you can put things in columns. You can easily see, and that's how people manage it, because if you go straight on the Twitter site, it's going to be really difficult and time consuming, and you save a lot of time with TweetDeck. You can connect, you can communicate, collaborate, and create. So this is all going to be different. It's in different stages. So some of you will connect right away and you'll jump in. That's the way I was. I just jumped in and started doing all these things because that's my personality. But for some of you, it's a little bit different. So you connect with teachers, and I'm going to show you how. It's very good to have something online. We're going to see some good options for that. Communicate with them. Say, thank you for your resource. Or look, I love this. I used it with my students. Here's a picture. And so I'm hoping some of you will do that with some of the icebreakers that I've been posting up, because I always love to see when things work. Retweet them, reshare their stuff, share. I know when people share my stuff, I often, if I'm online, I'll connect with them and I'll talk with them and I'll say hi. And I'll do them the courtesy too. I'll go through their stream and I'll find something that I really like and I'll share it as well. Collaborate. Eventually you get to the point where you get so excited and energized by your PLN, and I know you don't have enough time, but you're going to want to collaborate on something, and you're going to want to create something, and that's always exciting. And one of the things you can't create is a blog. So that's one way to connect with teachers and have a bigger conversation, is to blog. When you're blogging, there's a few things you need to do. Okay. Here I have a picture of myself. I do welcoming to my visitors. So they know what I look like. And then I let them know there's a mission statement there, and it says what Teachery Bootcamp is about. The other thing that I do is I have an about me or hire me. So if you're looking to do training or anything like that, you can have that. Oh, excuse me. This my allergy medicine. And it's really important to have a subscribe by email and subscribe by RSS. Most blogs will have that for you. Have other places to connect. So you can click on my Facebook icon on Teacher Bootcamp. You can click on my Instagram, all of them. And then you're going to be able to connect with me. So have those things. And the other thing is to have, and I have that on my blog as well, tweet this, Facebook it, because if you have that, then your posts are going to be shared a lot. Um, but if you don't have it, it just takes too long to copy and repaste. So it's good to have those things so your bloggers can share quite easily. Let me tell you, it's not always that you're going to get comments. A lot of times, if you post on Facebook, you'll get a lot of status updates because it's very difficult to post comments actually in a lot of blogs. There's spam. Then you have to do the CAPTCHAs. Sometimes the CAPTCHAs don't work. Sometimes it's not readable on a mobile device, your blog. Sometimes it's hard to comment on a blog that's on a mobile device. So there's a lot of reasons why people won't send a comment, and that's okay. So just don't expect that all the time. Some of your posts are going to get like 50, and then some are going to get like 0 comments. You don't have to blog. You can get an online profile instead. And I believe every teacher should have one of these professional profiles because you can find a lot of work and jobs and extra things that you never even thought of or has. Um, or if you've had, you can get a lot of opportunities or you find out about conferences to attend and events. LinkedIn is still pretty powerful. One of the things I like about LinkedIn is it shares at the bottom all of my slide shares. I also have had a visualcv.com. I've had this for many years. You can embed a video, you can embed references, PDFs, and it looks very much like a CV or a resume. The other one is about me. I have this profile there, and then flavors.me. I have one everywhere, so I can provide you an example and show you. And it's great because like each one has their own thing that makes it really cool. You can hear the rain, maybe. Can you hear the rain? Live binder. So you want to eventually you're going to want an e-portfolio that shows all your work, everything for your masters. I have my, action research, but a lot of times I have my webinars, I have my slides, I have my information, how just a lot of things in one area where people can easily flip through. If you go to shellyterrell.com about, you're going to see how I use live binders, and of my that's part of my site. And so there's a lot of times I'll use a free app like Live Binders or a free app like Pearltree or a free app like the many ones out there, and I'll put them. You can embed. That's the great thing about it. I can embed this live binder anywhere. I can present it. It looks like a website, but you curate that. You get actually on your browser, you have what's called a bookmarklet, and you click it, and it just puts the information there if you ask it. Easy, simple. So you may want a site. When you're starting the blog, you're lucky. You're very lucky. I didn't have any of this advice when I started. Um, and so, okay, thank you so much, Peggy. Send me your recording. I want to go see your keynote. Your own website. It's good to have your own URL, customized URL. So I have quite a few now. Now I have shellyterrell.com, 30goals.com, bitesizepotential.com is my newest one that I'm still working on. And then I also have teacherbootcamp.com. Each one serves its different purposes. Sometimes you can get them very inexpensive, but if you create something, for example, you can have a free site. It'll just say your name, weebly.com. And it is one of the easiest, incredible places to create a professional website. And you can use a template and you can get it in a day. So I think that it's a really good option. I talk to teachers all over the world, thousands and thousands. And I find it very sad that a lot of teachers feel that they can't do this, that you cannot come in a webinar and like you have nothing valuable to share. But let me let you know that every day new people are coming online and they haven't heard everything that somebody has said. So there's room for everyone to learn from each other. And I know Nellie Deutsch, who is in here, she's always looking for new presenters for her different conferences. She There's a lot of online conferences too. And sometimes when you have, even if it's like a Wordle, even if it's like word clouds or anything like that, you might think, or comics or anything, you have an idea on how to use it your certain way. You don't have to share the most newest things. The most valuable things are lessons with tools that you're comfortable with. Like, I get very excited every time I see a new way to use Buncee or new way to use Padlet or some and others of my favorite tools. But create. Go out there, connect, follow your passion, because you'll have the ability to impact millions. These are all the places that some of the events and stuff that I've created. You see the Friday webinars up there, the 30 goals, ebook Evo, and it's just amazing all the teachers and the communities you meet. So, yeah, I know some of you said you're trying to keep up. You don't have to. You can go to the Pearl Tree